lesson on hand path. Okay? I think there's always been a very big misconception of the idea that you are going to swing a specific way that will make you hit a perfect shot. Let's just think. There's the idea of either hitting a shot that's going to curve one way or the other, and how solid can you control contact. And the hand's path has a large influence over how successful you probably will be able to deliver those hands back from where they originally started from. Because there's going to be a space those hands start. The more those hands vary off that space you originally start with, the less chance you have of putting that club on the golf board. So let's just say you have two types of hand paths. A hand path relative to the shoulder, your trail shoulder, can either go high over the trail shoulder, left of it and more high, or your hand path on the backswing can go deeper behind the trail shoulder. Okay, so a deeper hand path can help you swing more in to out, more to right field. You open up your body alignments, you'll swing a little higher hand path, make it easy to swing over the top or out to in to left field. Over the top means over the top of the shoulder line. Here's the concept. The best players in the world, what they're really doing is whatever hand path, whether they go deeper in and they come back down that hand path, it's easier to reestablish where those hands started from when you go back on a hand path and come back down that hand path. Whether that be more of an in to out path, so those hands go up that line, down that line, or if you went more of an out to in hand path, they go up that line, down that line. So I'll show you that with a couple of different players here. I'll show you what I was able to do very similar to Patrick Cantlay here, where you can see that I swung in to out 2.6 degrees, closed my face 2.7, and very much hit a very similar draw pattern that we just hit. Okay? One swing thought that a lot of tour pros work on, especially for draw players, is to get the hands in and the club outside the hands at the takeaway, meaning shaft parallel. Now, the tip here today is to tell players it would be best for the average player to get their hand path deeper, meaning at takeaway. A lot of players think they should go straight back with the hands, which gets their hands way outside their body and gets their hand path much higher over the trail shoulder, making it more of an out to in swing over the top. The over the top is not the issue, but most players with that high hand path and that straight back takeaway will then get that hand path even farther out from the line they came on. If they went up this line and came back down this line, then at least they'd have a chance of re-delivering the club center to the ball. But most of that high hand path, they get that hand path to even come more off the line it came back on, okay? Which makes it way harder to then get back to where the ball was originally, all right? So most players would be better off at takeaway instead of trying to go straight back with their hands going way off their body and up, but allowing themselves as they rotate to get their hands more in. At the belt buckle would be great at the halfway point, okay? Even if you let the club head also work inside the hands here, I'm fine with that. As long as you're controlling the hands coming in, getting behind the trail shoulder, and make sure that they come back down that same path line that you work them back on hand path line. Let's kind of watch that here, all right? So we'll go back to shaft parallel first. Kind of see how, right, the takeaway from me, my hands are at least almost mid-thigh to mid-knee. The club is just slightly outside hands. So it's the hands in, the club stayed out a little at the takeaway. We'll go to Patrick Cantlay's very much almost identical takeaway there. Right, same thing. Club head is a little outside the hands. The hands are right over middle of the foot right here almost, okay? He's working hands in behind that trail shoulder. Or the top of the swing here. Okay. Very similar positions. He's directly split middle of the trail shoulder. You can see here I'm just slightly behind trail shoulder. My butt end of the club would extend all the way down to about my heel. Is would probably be almost middle of the foot here. But you'll see that line he goes up on, he's almost going to come straight back down. He comes a little off of it at the end. Very similar to what I do here. All right, kind of see how here we both go up a line and almost right back down that line. So up that line, back down that line. Now Patrick's coming a little off that line there, so if he stayed off this line too much, he'd heel it. So instead of staying off the line, he's actually going to work the hands just back in a little to the left there if we watch it. Very, very end impact. And there's impact. You can kind of see the original start point that Patrick on was right here, and he got right back to it. So his hands path, where they start that left wrist, they go back on a path and almost come down a very similar path, and then reestablish the original space and point that he started with. If he came too far off and re-heel it. If he came too far under it, he'd toe it. Look here, I did a very similar thing. There's my starting point. Go up, almost back down that exact line, and reestablish that starting point. And we're swinging into out while closing the face, hitting that draw, 100%. So the drill you could use from Y golf, these alignment sticks and noodles that it comes with are great. There's definitely other ways I do with PVC to make this drill work. But in essence, you are going to be working on how to get the hand path deeper. We will set this up always where the ball just sits just inside of it, at 2 feet back. You have to come under it, okay? So this path that you come down on here, you're going to go right back down under that path, all right? If you were to get too far outside of it, you're going to hit the noodle. And if you go over that original hand path line, you'll still hit that noodle. Make it really hard to have good contact, whether you swing out to in or into out. And remember, even if you let the club head get way inside the hands there, as long as that hand path got deep and you stay on that same path, you will be able to make better contact shots and learn how to swing into out, while hopefully closing the face to hit that draw. So I'm going to even let one where instead of me trying to keep the club head outside the hands, I'm going to let the club head work inside the hands to show you could still hit a very successful shot from that pattern. Perfect. Good solid draw right there. All right. So we'll let that capture and populate over here. Get rid of the air mode. All right, so both of those two shots land pretty close on top of each other. We can show what that tracer looks like. So you can see that tight little draw I just hit there. And then there's the club shot right here. All right, we'll go to the takeaway, that shaft parallel. First position in the backswing. Boom, right about there. So as you can see, I allow the club head to get way inside the hands on this one, but the hand path is much more centered out to the middle of my belt buckle line. So most players, if you could just learn to get the hand path a little deeper, going more behind you, even if you let the club head get inside too at this point, get the club more behind the hand, just swing way more down. Still got to close the face, but this would be way easier on this path line of the hands to then re-deliver them back down to the ball without bearing off that original space line. All right, hope it helps. Like, follow, share. Please leave any comments, ask questions. Always love to hear from everybody, so I hopefully can make these videos even more helpful and a better understanding. But definitely path noodles like this. You can even set it up on this side too for the exit path. They bring you 2 of these little discs and noodles that are great. I'll put the link in the comments. Please definitely take a look at Y Golf. I think they make very cost-effective, easy training aids to use to work on certain skills in your mechanics for your golf swing that will help you hit the ball 1,000 times better. Happy holidays, everybody. So, just so we could show the full video of what it looks like with the Y alignment disc system set out here, you will set it up always with the ball literally just outside the actual disc right there. And this should more or less, line angle-wise, on the disc, there's different line angles to match the club, be splitting the trail shoulder. So as clubs get a little bit more towards the irons and wedges, they get a little more upright, so this thing will move more upright. Driver will get a little flatter, so this thing will even be a little bit flatter. Take your practice swing with the ball not there first, just trying to get used to staying under the noodle. And that's how we work on getting that path to be the same, whether that be more out to in or into out. Okay? Set up, try and execute. Good swing. Alright, so that hand path goes this way under that noodle. Swing on out. Get a nice tight little draw. Alright? Could even set the Y Golf disc over here as well in that same similar fashion to work on exit path. Because we want to be able to exit to the left after we swung into that. A lot of players are going to, again, get the hand up way over it and then hit inside that noodle or hit that noodle. Okay? Okay. So I just wanted to make a video that would also accompany and demonstrate the idea of how path itself is the reason why contact goes awry. Because this would be an in to out path with the face being closed. This is in to out with the path being still in to out and the face open. This is out to in with the face being a little shut. This is out to in with the face being a little open. Okay? But the concept is this. Whatever start that you have space-wise, if it comes off that much, you heal it. If it stays this way, it'll toe it. You could come in to out and then come far off and heal it. You can come in to out and then come back too much and toe it. You can come out to in and come too far off and heal it. Come out to in and come too far off and toe it. So whatever path and hand path that you come in with, you have to reestablish that path, whether it be in to out and hit the center of the face, or if you swing out to in and find the center of the face. So little slow motion drills where you do that. Whatever hand path you go back on, come back on that path. Whatever hand path you go back on, come back on that path. You can swing a little out to in and hit a shot, or you can swing a little in to out and hit a shot, very much in the center of the face.